The U.S. Inspector General has launched a criminal investigation into wasteful spending of millions of taxpayer dollars in Afghanistan. Part of the alleged waste came in the form of pricey forest camouflage uniforms for Afghan troops who operate in mostly a desert environment. CBN's national security correspondent Eric Rosales has been following this ongoing investigation and brings us the story from Capitol Hill.
People are not being held accountable for wasting money.
John Sopko, the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, told a House Armed Services Committee he's opened a criminal investigation after the Pentagon was found to have spent more than $93 million on Afghan uniforms. Sopko says the forest camouflage pattern was picked despite the country having very little forests, instead of using the Defense Department's own patterns for free.
The only options we gave the Minister of Defense was the proprietary patterns. We never showed him this. The bigger problem is no one ever did an assessment as to what kind of camouflage is best in Afghanistan.
Sopko says it's still too early to determine, in his words, if stupidity, corruption, or a broken system led to the U.S. purchasing about 1.3 million uniforms in the woodland camouflage pattern owned by a Canadian company, Hyperstealth. He did warn if the program is not adjusted quickly, it could cost American taxpayers another $72 million in unnecessary spending during the next decade. Even Defense Secretary Jim Mattis weighed in recently, condemning the alleged waste as cavalier spending in a memo he sent to top Pentagon officials. Defense Department officials also testified on the Hill that they told lawmakers that they're now going to use the Inspector General's report as a catalyst to end the aggressive spending and waste. But right now, the only thing that they've done is start a study of their own.
So it's safe to say no changes have been made to date?
The report has been out for about a month. The primary suggestion in the report was that we determine whether or not there's a uniform pattern that's more suitable.
Sopko says the bigger problem is fixing the way the U.S. government works and spends money.
It's broken. I hate to say it, the system is broken on accountability because we're not holding people accountable, because by the time we get out there, the money has been spent and the person who was involved is either retired or long gone, because there's a 2-year or shorter appropriation cycle and everyone's got the incentive to spend money.
Sopko says military contractors told him they get rewarded at the end of the year on how much money they spend and not whether the contract is good for the country. Sopko then scolded lawmakers for allowing this to happen.
We have to change that system. And I would highly recommend take a look at the HR system in the Defense Department, take a look at the procurement system, take a look at the incentives that you are allowing to occur which create this problem.
Sopko says he's also recommending a review of all organizational clothing and individual equipment contracts in Afghanistan. We'll keep you posted. Eric Rosales, CBN News, Washington.